Hey friends, this is the Miss Wolfie from our Half Acre Homestead, and today I'm going to make a cookie recipe in a jar, but I'm going to make it gluten-free as a gift. You're going to need 1.5 cups of gluten-free flour. I'm using Bob's Red Mill 1-to-1 baking flour. When you yourself are not gluten-free, but you want to make something for a friend or a family member, you don't go out and buy all the ingredients to make your own flour. This is a shortcut, and it's a good one for folks like me. Bob's Red Mill is not paying me a damn cent. I also, so 1.5 cups of gluten-free flour, 3/4 cup of gluten-free oatmeal. Now folks, I paid big bucks for this thing. It is sprouted, gluten-free rolled oats. All right? It is, what is this? Canadian organic, gluten-free, non-GMO verified. We have 1/2 cup of raisins and 1/2 cup of broken pecans. We have a teaspoon of baking powder, a teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And you're going to need brown sugar. Obviously, this is in my bowl, therefore I made it. You can make your own brown sugar. I always make my own brown sugar because it's just easier than trying to find organic. So I just use organic cane sugar and some molasses. This says gluten-free cookie mix. You will need 3/4 cup of butter and 2 eggs. That's the only thing they have to add to the recipe, and there's the baking instructions. You're going to want some paper cups. I got these for Christmas from my cousin Diane, and I've been waiting to use them. And you're going to need a 1 liter. You may have to pinch a little here and there if you're using quart jars. But you're going to need a 1 liter mason jar with a lid. Let's get started. Okay, first we're going to put a canning funnel in our jar. And we are going to put in the flour. Now folks, you want to make sure it's tamped down. Okay, so you want to tap this, make sure it's as level as possible. And then we are going to add in, now I've actually layered the raisins and the nuts in here. Let's hope it goes in properly. We're going to pour in our nuts, or most of them, and then top it with the raisins. Now you can use chocolate chips, colored chips, cookie bits, whatever you want, but I'm keeping it pretty traditional. I'm going to put in 3/4 cup of oatmeal. I didn't put this in with the flour, but it doesn't matter. We're just going to drop our baking soda, our baking powder, and our cinnamon right on top of the oatmeal. I mean, the more ingredients you use that are colorful, the better, but you know what, folks? You want to make sure that there's a dividing line you can see. So now I'm going to take a paper baking cup and I'm going to drop it down in here. And I'm going to mold it to the sides of the jar on top of the oatmeal. And I'm going to get my handy dandy ice cream scoop. And I'm going to start gently. I'm going to put the funnel back in and I'm going to start putting the brown sugar in. And you want to use the funnel because you want it to hit the center of that paper and then spread when you press it. You keep pressing it down right to above the edge of the jar, because when you take your funnel out, then you press the sugar down in and it is level with the lid of the jar. That's important because you don't want your ingredients to shift. See how pretty that is? We are going to put a lid on the jar. We're going to take our label and with a glue stick, oops, if I can get it off or open, I'm just going to glue this label on because it'll be with a glue stick. It's easier if you can get it to stick. It's easier because it will come off once you wash it. See? There we go. And now again, I'm going to take one of our paper muffin cups, Christmas Pretty, or you can use Christmas fabric. And I'm going to put this down over top just like that. Thank you, Cousin Diane, for these lovely paper cups. And I'm just going to put it down over the jar and measure it to the jar, not the lid. Okay? And then I'm just going to snip it off my wire cutters. And then I'm going to wrap, holding this down. And I'm going to twist it in place. Now again, you can use fabric if you want. You can use anything decorative that you want. But using this tinsel, I can actually put the name tag on there. And there it is. Gluten-free oatmeal nut raisin cookies in a jar. This is the Mrs. Wolfie from our half-acre homestead saying if you have somebody that is gluten intolerant in your life, doesn't mean you can't make them Christmas treats too, and gifts in a jar. Take care. God bless.